Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and as always I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And P.
Hello.
And this week we're going to have a talk about things science can't explain.
Ooh.
A selection. I mean obviously there's a load of stuff science can't explain.
Am I on this list?
Yes you are. You're just an alien.
Pizza missing link.
It's just like, it's a selection of stuff that,
Baffle us.
yeah.
Yeah, otherwise this could be like a 50-parter.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm going to start by saying you can follow us on Facebook at Cutting the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse, YouTube Apocalypse Bull, and SoundCloud and most other podcasting platforms at Cutting to the Bull in the PTA. So let's just quickly go through some thanks, some new and returning listeners. Again, I won't do the whole list. Ferndale in the UK, Pardubice.
Podsafe.
Yeah, that, Czech Republic. Not going to touch the Mexican one. Starts
No,
with X.
give it a go, give it
No,
a go.
I don't even know where to start.
Zosh.
Belgrade in Serbia, Panabo in the Philippines, London in the UK, Asheville, North Carolina, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, Ludhiana in India, Dublin, Ireland, Newbury, Canada, Cumming in Georgia, Sydney, Australia, Atlanta, Georgia, Niles, Michigan, Perryville, Missouri, London in the UK, Ashburn, Virginia, Cortland Manor, New York. That sounds a bit posh, doesn't it?
Mm.
And Stevenage, UK, which doesn't sound posh at all. And then Guadalajara, Spain.
Ah, Stevenage has been with us for some time, hasn't he? Or she?
They.
Them.
Whatever pronoun they want to use.
Thank you to everyone that's been listening.
Yep, it's always appreciated. Tell a friend, tell several friends. Right, let's start with, why do we have an anus?
What?
To poo.
Science does not know why we have an anus.
Well, it does, because that's
Or
where
why we
the-
develop an anus, should I say.
That's just stupid.
why we develop an anus.
I should
Yeah.
put
To get rid of
Well,
feces, fecal matter.
the appearance of the anus was momentous in animal evolution, apparently, according to Catherine Wu around the Atlantic. Before the appearance of the anus, animals had to eat and excrete through the same hole.
Okay.
That wouldn't be fun.
No.
But since when? What animals is she talking about?
The animals before the appearance of the anus could have been insects, they could have been microbes, or
Because from like the beginning of mammals, dinosaurs, etc., they had arseholes and they shitted.
Yeah.
Shitted.
But at some point,
there wasn't.
So
wasn't one.
before that. But how do they know this?
because they found evidence of life in the fossils, haven't they? And they've looked and they've gone, this creature's got no anus. Therefore, to expel its excretion, must do it through its mouth.
So
But we're talking
regurgitating.
microbes, tiny little insecty things and things like that, more than likely. Amoeba style.
Could be.
Sea life. Could be some sea life in there too.
There haven't been any mammals or anything, you know.
Doubtful. Mammals came quite late.
It's a bit of a pointless scientific fact, that, or scientific mystery, because there's absolutely no relevance to nowadays whatsoever.
Well, science doesn't
Because-
know why didn't we stick with crapping out your mouth formula? Why did the anus develop? No one knows.
Just the same
Just
as
an evolutionary reaction,
same as
isn't it?
any evolution, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's saying it's. What if evolution decided, you know what, to spray this crap up my mouth, that's actually a really good design, and that's how we ward off predators as humans. In one reality, that's in one multiverse, that's a thing.
Ugh.
But they haven't found a creature that developed the anus first, so they've got creatures without anuses
And then
and then creatures with them.
Where's the
So
creatures
the
in
missing
middle?
the missing butt link. Well, I'm not making my life's work to find the first creature to have an anus.
So you're saying that whatever was evolving, Mike, they were evolving simultaneously, all to have assholes.
Well, one animal would have got an arsehole,
Yeah.
and then that would have, its genes would have spread, and they'd have got an arsehole. It would have basically been the more efficient way, and if those genes were favourable, then
well, I'm pretty sure we're talking on a microbiotic level.
we're talking
Could well
somewhere back before dinosaurs.
Mad. But I'm not quite sure. I don't know. It was different animals, wasn't it? Because there are animals now that don't have an arsehole. Like a worm, I believe, doesn't have an arsehole.
I've no idea.
Does it not?
I don't think so. No.
Or maybe that's one creature that survived then. Fact checker Pete.
Yeah.
There was all those little microbes that live on your face. They don't have arseholes.
They do.
Do they?
They're shitting all over me.
Yeah.
Bastards.
they do.
They used to think they didn't, but they do.
Oh, right, well, I have out-of-date scientific information.
That's
I
it.
apologise to all the listeners' little face microbes who are happily crapping out of their anuses.
Yeah, they come out at night, don't they? And then sort of, eat the dead skin off your face, and then I should imagine, because they're eating it with their mouth, they're shitting it with their arse.
Yeah. And also, why is the human butt so big compared with the mammals? No one knows.
So we can sit. That is it. That they've said that I've heard before. It's because of
Other
sitting.
animals sit, they have smaller butts than us.
They sit in different ways. But like four-legged animals use their hind legs to kind of perch and sit and things like that. Whereas we don't have any other option. If we want to sit, we sit on our arse. So we developed cushioning just through
developed
evolution.
a big ass.
Just through evolution.
Well, science is saying we don't know.
We don't know for sure, I guess that's a theory.
Well, it'll only develop more because we all are sitting on our arses, aren't we?
That's true. We're going to look like Wally people soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here we go. This is where it all comes from. The Saccharomyces coronaeus
Coronanus.
is a 500 million year old microscopic spiny marine creature that resembles a popular character from the Minions movie. Had no asshole.
Yeah.
So we're talking
Yep.
500 million year old microscopic. So I was pretty correct on my assumption on that we're talking on a microscopic level.
Yeah.
These tiny little things like your amoebas and things like that, which we know don't have an arsehole. They do excrete things, but we know it comes out of the mouth. It comes out of the same spot as it goes in, and that's like your amoebas and things like that. Your single cell organisms. That is all they are, isn't it? But they do draw in through some kind of hole, which is interpreted as a mouth,
Yeah.
and then it comes back out of the same hole.
Could it happen? Maybe humans didn't develop anuses at some point. It's still a mystery as to why we developed them.
Efficiency, I should imagine.
Well,
It's efficiency.
Yeah, you don't want to be eating
evolution.
squeaking through the same hole, do you?
But still.
So the only thing, so you've got a Demodex is a mite that lives in the pores of your skin and face. They do not possess an anus, so they can't poop. As they feed on the oils of your skin, their feces build up inside them until they die. So it's only when they die they burst and release all that poop on your face.
Oh.
There you go then. I was right, they don't have an ass.
Yeah.
Alright then, okay.
But
They do
Sounds
poop on your
corrected.
face when they die.
At present, that is basically the only living creature we know. And I think this is pretty much the descendants of that, which is probably what this fact is talking about. And I understand why then did we, whatever evolutionary design in Mother Nature, went, no, don't like it like that, let's have an extra
Well, it's
little
far more
hole.
efficient, isn't it? Yeah. And
In one, out the other.
that's why every other life form has an anus.
Yeah.
Unless
So
you
really,
start-
they do know why, I guess, because it's evolutionarily
Yeah, that's
better, but they don't know. I guess they don't know how is the question.
How did you end up with a standardised anus to ass feature?
And it's
Why haven't you got an anus in your knee?
And when you think, you just said it on, you hit the nail on the head with that.
When you
It's a
squeeze it out.
Yeah, squeeze it out your knee.
But as you said, it's a standardised feature. An asshole is an asshole. It looks like a chocolate starfish on almost any animal you look at.
No, I haven't really gone around looking at animals' asshole, but let's assume that they
I'm
are.
sure you've seen your dog's arsehole when it's waved its tail in your face. And I'm sure you've poked your finger up its... No.
Monkeys at the zoo.
No, my friend Chris poked his finger up my last dog's ass by mistake.
Oh dear.
They all say.
He didn't
yeah.
trust him after that, did
He
he?
did not. He hated him after that. He's the only person who ever growled after that.
But generally, anuses
He got
all look...
amused.
Anuses are a pretty standard thing, aren't they?
They
In all
are.
creatures, they're a sphincter that basically does that. It
Expands and contracts.
contracts.
Cuts off.
That's basically what a sphincter is. We have many sphincters for our body, and the anus is the most known one, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Ass be famous.
it is a mad one. But yeah, why did we decide to change?
Unless, of course, you stuff food up your ass and crap out your mouth.
South Park.
South Park.
Brilliant episode.
This one's a good one. What the heck is ball lightning?
Ooh.
Aliens.
You like a bit of ball lightning that you mind?
You ever think about ball lightning? It is unknown, though, what causes
How
it.
does it form?
For millennia, people have been telling stories about mysterious spheres of light that glow, crackle, and hover eerily during thunderstorms. They've been spotted in homes, in rural areas, and cities, on airplanes, and even passing through windows.
Well, again, though, it's an electricity
It's a charge,
build-up. It's
isn't
a
it?
charge build-up. So, in any environment, like it's in your home, you can imagine sitting there and a little ball of lightning just appears. But you could imagine with all the electricals within a house, and it gives you the right atmosphere. And if there's such an electrical charge outside, it only needs the right conditions, I guess.
I love it. We could be just sat here right now and a ball lightning thing could just trot into the kitchen window and float into the room.
I think it would have.
Then presumably explodes and kills us all and sets the
I'd say
flat on
it would
fire.
definitely freak you out, wouldn't it?
I'd be like, holy shit, it's a ghost. Mike would be like, nah, it's ball lightning, that is.
Usually only lasts for a few moments, and it's impossible to predict where and when it will show up. It's rare, but many people have seen it. Scientists don't know exactly where it comes from, but that hasn't stopped them from trying to make it themselves in their labs.
Oh, stop playing God, scientists.
So, but obviously there's been a lot of accounts of UFOs have been put down to ball lightning, haven't they?
Yeah, but we don't talk too much about that.
What, UFOs or ball lightning?
Ball lightning.
No, right.
Or swamp gas reflected off the planet Venus. We don't talk about that either. This is one of my favourites, actually. Of all the things science can't figure out, it's the placebo effect.
Yep.
Nice, simple one. We all know what it is.
Explain
Drugs.
to people just in case.
Basically, if you've got a condition and they're going to test out the placebo effect, they can give you sugar capsules, a control group sugar capsules and another control group at your medicine. 9 times out of 10, this condition starts to get better on its own anyway with the group that's been given the sugar capsules. The idea is because you think you're being given medicine, your body responds.
This is the thing, it goes down to the human psyche and how
Yeah.
clever our bodies actually are. Like, you only need to believe you're getting cured of something, and your brain starts sending the right signals to the right places, and those cells within your body start doing the job they're supposed to be doing that would normally, they're too lazy to do it without the help of a medicine, maybe.
Too
How else
lazy.
how else would you explain that? How else would you explain that? Because it's in there, it's in your body. It's like people say that if you can make yourself ill by just thinking you're ill.
I've done that before now. After a weekend, I thought, I don't want to go back to work. I'm going to be ill for a day. When you get ill.
The amazing thing is, it just needs to be like a doctor in a white coat, and that improves your chances immeasurably.
Yeah.
It's strange, isn't it?
I think it's something along the lines of frequencies. You know, when you're stressed, because we're like 70% water, aren't we? You're sending a frequency throughout your body. You
That
know.
releases hormones, doesn't it? Cortisone and
Yeah.
is it cortisone?
And if someone tells you, "Oh, you're going to be all right," that frequency might change a touch, and then have a positive effect on the rest of your body.
Stress it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's because of the hormones that it releases in the body. So if you're not being stressed, then you're not releasing them toxic hormones, and
Might be blocking your immune system. When you are stressed and run down, then that's when your immune system's not as best. If you don't tend to find you get ill.
Yeah.
So if you're like, this man in a white coat gives you some capsules and says, "Here, these will make you feel better," immediately you go, "Oh, that's better." Someone's giving me something I can get this under control now. Immediately your stress level drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massively. Yeah, spot on with that. Yeah.
could be that, couldn't it?
That's probably the most likely thing, but the fact is, no one really knows, and it shouldn't work, should it? It shouldn't be.
I do just think it's that.
Yeah, but that's
human brain.
But it shouldn't work.
I mean, a placebo has also been shown to reduce tremors and muscle stiffness in people with Parkinson's disease. So you're not treating them with anything, yet they're getting a little bit better.
Yeah, it's the suggestion. It's got to be
The power of suggestion. It's
Well,
very
it
powerful.
is, yeah. But I'm just saying it shouldn't. No matter if you've got a medical condition wrong with your body's misfiring in some way, then you just going, "Oh, you know what? That medicine I'm having, that's great. That is. Oh, it'll be sorted in no time." And your body just goes, "Oh, Better stop giving them that knee pain.
But is that the long-term effects, or is these like the short-term effects? You know, because if after a few months these symptoms returned, you'd be like, oh, maybe I am on a placebo, or you know, I don't. This is a longitudinal study, is it? Longitudinal, is that?
Oh no, it is that you want. We know about it. We can't explain it. Kind of thing. What about dark matter? Because dark matter's had a bit of a U-turn on it. They used to think everything in the universe at one point was dark matter. We couldn't see it, therefore it was dark matter. And now it was like, we never actually found any dark matter, so no one's sure if it even exists anymore.
I was going to say,
it's not something I've
heard them talk about it on the Big Bang Theory
Yeah.
and whatnot, but I've
Only
never...
4% of the universe is made up of visible stuff that we can see.
4%?
Yeah.
And they say the rest of it's dark matter.
Well, dark matter and dark energy.
Does that just mean we can't see it? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's too
We
dark
can't
to
see it, but we can see the effects it has.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it
like
sort
the
of
way,
acts.
way galaxies spin.
Yeah.
Is dark matter not something that black holes are comprised of?
Well, that's what they think.
Isn't it just the space in between? It's not actually matter, it's just like...
Nothing.
Nothing, yeah, the nothing.
Yeah.
It's
We can't
completely
detect
nothing.
it.
That's the problem, you see. We used to think it was dark matter from the 70s, and the best response from physicists was to suggest that there's more stuff out there than we can see, but the trouble was no one could explain what this dark matter was, and they still can't. While researchers have made many suggestions about what kind of particles might make up dark matter, there is no consensus. It's an embarrassing hole in our understanding of space, and it is an embarrassing hole.
Yeah.
Big fucking embarrassing hole.
96%, we don't know what the fuck it is.
It's 90%, they reckon.
It's the nothingness, isn't it?
It's a
Well,
nothing.
hopefully
It's the nothing!
this new telescope that they've sent up into space that can...
It's going to see
that's-
nothing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's been taking those pictures that have never been...
The James Webb Telescope.
That's right.
Yeah, but it can't detect dark matter.
No, but is that like a start to new technology that might be able to get out into space to be able to actually... Oh, we can actually look at it and study it now. Do you know what I mean? Is that
No,
step
because it's still
forward?
visible light. It's detecting visible light.
That's how a
It's in the
telescope
infrared,
works, isn't
that's
it?
all.
It brings in
Right.
the light, and you get it
Hubble
into a lens.
couldn't see in the infrared.
But if they don't know if... even
And
if
things furthest away from Earth, because they're moving away still at an increasing speed, all the light that's coming from it is in the infrared because it extends the wavelength.
Right, yeah.
So Hubble couldn't see it, whereas this new telescope,
Can.
James Webb, can.
Can we use the James Webb Telescope to take a picture of the Voyager probe's ass as it's going out?
I don't know. Is the answer to that?
Could we not lock on to
Ask
it
an astronomer.
and go, right, let's take a picture of its ass as it leaves?
Probably too small, isn't it?
Maybe. You'd probably be able to, I don't know if you'd be able to make it out amongst the backdrop either, would you? It'd just be a bit of light reflecting, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, 90% of the mass in the universe, we don't know what it is.
Nope.
I haven't got a clue. Could be anything. Could be the void, could be empty space.
It's just space, isn't it?
It's just space, that's why it's called space.
Between the other bits.
Could be water.
What?
No, we didn't notice that when we went to the
We
moon.
can detect water, yeah.
Yeah, but what if it's like...
It's
So
something that's
far
undetectable that we can't...
What if it's that far away?
We can
don't-
see the effects it has on the galaxies, binds them together, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough gravity to keep the galaxies together. So we know there's something there that acts like gravity but isn't.
And we just go, it's dark matter. That's what it is. Dark matter, because we don't know what it is.
So our nearest galaxy is moving away from us still.
Everything's moving away from us.
Why us? Why is it moving away from us?
Doesn't
Apart
like
from
us.
everything.
Doesn't like us, thinks we're
Getting
twats.
further
Yeah.
apart.
So we're not the centre of the universe then.
I think
No, we're out on the fucking western spiral arm. We are. We're not.
wherever
I know,
you
I know,
are, you're in the
that's
centre
on
of the
our
universe.
galaxy.
I think.
I suppose you
Weird,
are,
something
technically.
weird like that.
Wherever you are is your centre, innit? You don't, all your maps would say you are here, and you work out from there.
Yeah.
Isn't there a centre and it's a huge black hole?
No, that's in some galaxies, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
in most galaxies. Perhaps in all of them.
Maybe there's a massive black hole at the centre of the universe.
That we're all rotated around.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like and getting
Well.
sucked in like a plug hole.
In,
No,
an
definitely right.
in an infinite universe, anything's possible.
Maybe we're getting sucked in.
Or
not getting
or
further
spewed
apart.
out, yeah. We're getting spewed out and going further apart. Out of it, we've got spewed out the plug hole.
Pushing us as opposed to pulling us.
Well, the other side of the plug hole is an
And,
ultimate dimension where they're getting sucked into the plug hole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
What are dreams? We don't know.
There are
We don't know why we
Your
dream.
mind just
We can't say
playing
for
tricks on you.
any level of certainty what dreams are for. We can't do it.
There are heads sorting out thoughts throughout the day, isn't it? I mean,
Well, it's the question of, if the question of why we sleep is complicated, and obviously that's an evolution response. We get tired, we have to rest, but still, it's still a complicated question why we develop that need. The question of why we dream is even more so. Dreaming, especially vivid, fanciful dreams, is most correlated with rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, which itself is poorly understood. One thought is that dreaming evolved to help us sort out or rehearse solutions to problems in our waking lives, but there's no real hard evidence to the case.
I've never been attacked by a crocodile underneath the front of my dad's car in 1986 before, and that happened in a dream when I was a kid.
Yeah, but don't you know about dreams? You don't take everything literal, do you?
No.
Maybe
The
you were
crocodile
attacked by a
represents,
something,
yeah,
someone,
your hidden desires.
or fears.
or you were molested by a
It's one of those very
under a
vivid,
car.
but that's one of those very vivid dreams. I can still remember the dream
By a
now.
man
I
in
had that when I was
snakeskin
about
boots. Crocodile skin boots.
4. Mad. Yeah, I remember that dream well. Clearly we were at an air show.
Who was in the car with you?
Mum, my dad, my brothers. We were in my brown Ford Granada. No, Cortina. The Ford Cortina, sorry, not Granada. We never had a Granada. No, the old brown Ford Cortina, yeah.
And a crocodile attacked
For
you.
some reason, a crocodile
Were
attacked.
there any scoutmasters nearby? Any priests? Anything like that?
No, I was only 4. I hadn't been introduced to anything quite like that yet.
No, well,
You're lucky.
Totally.
You're lucky you remember it, to be fair. Because all dreams are stored in the short-term memory.
Yeah.
You can sort of
I
remember.
don't know. I've
when
had a
you
few
wake up,
dreams.
can't you?
Yeah, when you wake up,
I've got a few
Because
dreams.
it's
I can
stored in your
remember.
short-term memory. After a few days and weeks, you'll forget it.
unless they're particularly memorable, as you say.
Some may stay in your long-term memory,
I've
so you
got
might
a
be lucky.
few that
but-
stayed in.
If you make
I
it-
want to make a film out of one of my dreams because it would be an awesome film.
Now, although our dreams may feel significant to us, it's also possible that they serve no purpose. They may simply be a byproduct of other processes that occur during REM sleep. Studying the neurological basis of the strange and highly subjective experience of dreaming is complicated, which is why understanding the origin of dreaming is still beyond our grasp.
I think maybe it's just something to keep our minds occupied whilst we're bored asleep. Helps sleep go by.
What does that say about our attention spans?
Dogs do it.
But we've got a
Yeah.
fantastic imagination, haven't we, us humans, and obviously dogs and that. Because the amount of times you watch your dog running, chasing a cat or whatever it's doing, it's like hilarious. Their eyes twitching away.
Well, yeah, you can always tell that, but there's still is it a thing where we replay solutions that just alternate
I quite
versions
like that.
of what we should have done during the day?
I like that theory.
Yeah, the problem solving.
Yeah. Thinking of like you putting yourself into a scenario and you're living it out.
I think
And
that's the best explanation.
There's two ways it could work out, either good or bad. And then when you wake up, you're like, shit, shouldn't have done that. Okay, now don't jump off that bridge next time. And then if you ever come to that point in life, you're going to go, oh no, let's not do that. I'll splat. Or, you know what I mean? Maybe.
Maybe it's an interesting thing. Why do we dream? Why? What's the point?
Well, that doesn't explain anybody who has lucid dreams or dreams that they can control, like flying and stuff.
Maybe this is the dream world, and when we're asleep, that's
reality.
I've often considered that.
yeah.
When I used to live in Saudi as a kid, I often thought, because it was a privilege, it really was, living in such an amazing country as an 8-year-old kid. And I remember so many times just like, I'd pinch myself, I'd be out in the souks, like the local markets and things like that, and just like, it'd be amazing. I always remember thinking, am I just dreaming?
There's an old Chinese philosopher that said he dreamt he was a butterfly, and he asked the question: Am I a man dreaming about being a butterfly, or am I a butterfly dreaming about being a man?
Oh.
I just think he wanted to be a butterfly, and why not? I think it's some kind of data dump for the brain myself. It's
Processing shit for you.
it's getting rid of stuff you know. Maybe you're sitting and you want to think about it a bit more, but didn't have time to. It's like, right, get rid of that now.
But then, the amount of times I've had a dream that's been about like a film I've been watching,
Oh yeah,
So how would that explain that then? It puts you.
I always think if you watch something and then go straight to sleep, it's on your mind, isn't it? And you're thinking about something, you do tend to dream about it.
So how?
Never had one of them.
Yeah, it's weird though. Then that would take away. The dreaming is to sort out your day's issues or problem solving, that kind of thing. It would take away that.
Well, maybe it's just you want to think more about it, so your brain's just like, oh yeah, that was sweet, and it puts you in it, and then all of a sudden, it's...
Maybe the problem solving's still going on, it's just in a different environment. Perhaps that doesn't really matter.
Maybe I should start trying to watch porn before I go to bed then. Have my dreams about...
Sticky.
Have my dreams about some hot porn stars.
Don't you have dreams about exes?
Yeah, I have.
It still happens. It's you haven't thought about someone for years, and then you wake up and you realise you've been dreaming about them. And it's like,
I probably...
It's all sticky.
Bit of cold sweat.
Do you know what? I've dreamt of my ex. I won't say her name. You know who I mean. The one and only ex kind of thing who scarred me for life, literally. Swinging a bag around my back of the head and things like that. Literally scarred me for life. But no, I've even recently, and that was 20 years ago. We split up 20 years ago, and I still dream about her now.
Yep.
Probably like
weird.
Evidence of PTSD.
That could be some PTSD in there.
She was my first love, though. Yeah, but dreams I always have it. I'm always kissing her or something. You know what I mean? There's always like a bit of something there with her.
Well, go on Facebook, see what happens.
Nah, fuck that.
Next one. Why do we yawn? No one knows why we yawn.
And why is it contagious?
And that's another thing, no one knows why that is. Although not if you're a psychopath. You won't pick up on it. You won't do it. Yawning is something you like to do every day, but oddly, scientists still aren't sure why. Recently, the scientific community has moved towards the idea that yawning is a thermoregulatory behaviour that cools down the brain, but its true biological function is still unclear. That'd be cool if you have a yawn, it's like the fan kicking in on a PC.
But then again, rats, rabbits, dogs, cats. I've never seen a cow yawn.
I know anyone cares enough to see if they know if they yawn.
But
bet they do.
Most house pets and that everyone I've ever had, you see it yawn.
Yeah.
So it is something that we all mammals do, and even birds.
It's contagious among all social animals.
I've seen a bird do it.
Yeah, I have, unless they're just stretching their beak.
I've never seen a bird
Stretching
yawn.
their beak,
Have you had pet birds?
No.
Well, you wouldn't have seen a bird do it then, would you, you spoon? How many fucking sparrows in your garden have sat there for an hour and let you watch them?
Well, had a yawn, I don't know.
No, I think they're just stretching like Pac-Man style.
Tell them to fuck off, Claire.
No, I can be a spoon.
No, I've had pet birds most of my life up to the age of 20, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember my birds yawning.
Well, if they're a social animal, then maybe. A 2005 study published in Cognitive Brain Research found that networks in your brain responsible for empathy and social skills are activated when you see someone yawn. Researchers have also observed that chimps can catch yawns from humans.
Ooh.
Even talking about it, I've just yawned.
Yeah, I want to yawn, I'm fighting it. Copying the facial expressions of others helps us adopt and understand their current state, said Matthew Campbell of the Yeeks National Primate Research Centre at Emory University. This is why, according to one study, psychopaths aren't as susceptible to contagious yawning.
I'm so going to start going up to people and just gurning, pulling weird faces and see if they start doing it back to
They just think you're on drugs.
They will.
Call the police.
They look a bit horrified. They won't be copying you.
So that theory's out of the window straight away.
But interesting that psychopaths don't catch yawns as often as other people because it's the empathy centres of the brain that light up when you yawn.
Yeah.
And that's
obviously
they don't have.
They don't have that. Which I think is fascinating. But yeah, why do you do it?
Could make a good subject. Psychopaths.
Oh, we delve into the world of serial killers here and there, don't we, occasionally? Right.
Every Christmas?
Every Christmas, usually, to be fair. The blue toilet seat phenomenon. This is a new one to me. I hadn't heard about this.
I've never heard this.
No. While sites will tell you that this happens when you're pregnant, this does indeed happen to both women and men, and it's a mystery, but likely due to minimal research on it. In fact, if you had asked a medical professional this, they may not believe you. but you'll mostly hear it online, people online talking about it happening to their toilet, and it's real, and no, it's not from a cleaning solution. The most probable cause of this is that sweat glands and oils from your body...
Sorry, can I... What's the problem?
Your toilet seat turns blue.
Oh, it turns blue.
Yeah.
This is what I wasn't getting. I thought she just had a blue toilet seat.
That's what I thought.
That's what I was like. What are they talking about?
Thought, oh, yeah.
Your toilet seat literally turns blue for no reason.
Right.
Okay.
I've never seen that. I've never heard of it.
No, but
me either.
I like it. I've never heard of it. Every day's a school day, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Like you say, the most probable cause is that the sweat glands and oils from your body are bonding with the toilet seat that causes the odd colour change. Other explanations include pregnancy hormones reacting with the seat on your skin.
Can I point out something?
Yeah.
This is an American article.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder whether they used a particular PVC of some sort, like a recycled PVC, that when
You can shit plastic, basically.
yeah, when such oils and shit from your body get onto it, it would discolour it, because you only have to look at the yellow that white windows go. If they're like a recycled plastic, they go yellow after the sun bleaches them. How can something bleach something a colour? It's strange, isn't
Sun
it?
will bleach anything, how funny.
So I wonder whether it's a similar thing to that.
I don't know, maybe. It could be
I've
a
never
poor
experienced
plastic,
it.
although saying that, they shouldn't really turn blue.
But is it
Plastic
something-
shouldn't change colour because it's the granules that make up that plastic come in that colour. They're that colour as they're made.
I've seen some pretty nasty looking toilet seats that,
Yeah,
that are
it's
quite
true.
stained over.
Yeah,
over
never
the-
seen
over
Brown, I can see it
Yeah.
going brown.
Brown and yellow.
Yellowy.
Brown and yellow.
Yellow.
Blue is a new one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying. I wonder whether it's
Yeah.
something in the makeup of toilets that are made in America or something.
I don't know, another possible cause, although
Yankee
rarer.
toilets.
Well, yeah, alright, their standards aren't that high, are they, when it comes to certain things? I don't know what their toilet seat standard is, admittedly.
They may well be using different chemical compounds to make these cheap
Well, it's-
toilets that might be in every
Oh.
single school in the US, which is where this is kind of centred, or something like that. You don't know, do you?
It could be worldwide, we don't know. It's a phenomenon online. This is a thing. It's science can't explain it. That's what the name of it. That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
It could be a possibility is that blue jeans are causing the colour change to the dye rubbing off on your legs and in turn onto the toilet seat
That could make
over
sense.
time.
Not buying that.
But it does suddenly happen without any reason, not just after buying a new pair of jeans. There have even a few reports of late of people's toilets turning blue after finding out they have COVID.
Bullshit.
Well, see, the blue toilet seat phenomena.
It's a new one on me.
I like it. I'm going to rigorously check my toilet seat from now on. Make sure it's not turning blue.
Oh, I've just found a solution to that straight away.
Well, Pete, the article is called Science Things Science Can't Explain.
Right, pseudochromhydrosis, I think it's called. It's rare, but some people have a condition called
It's not crimbo. Chromo.
chromhydrosis that causes their sweat to turn different colours, including blue.
Yeah, that's people's sweat.
So,
Could be that, yeah.
is this where the toilet, not just your toilet seats, bedding as well, but yeah,
How rare is that condition?
probably as rare as a blue toilet seat. It's not coloured blue already, I'm guessing, because I've shat on many a seat in my life, and I've never sat on a white one and gone, oh, it's a bit blue.
Maybe you sat on a blue one that used to be white.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever sat on a blue toilet seat.
Oh, we used to have a blue toilet seat.
I sat on black ones and white ones, but I think that's pretty much it. The odd wooden one.
Why did they make them white?
So it shows up the piss
Yeah, I
really well.
suppose.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you can see to clean
I'm
it.
sure we used to have a blue one when I was a kid. It was a blue wooden one.
We used to have a green one, we
Yeah, I had a green
back in
one,
the
mine.
day.
We've gone for the traditional wooden effect, and then we had a blue painted wooden one. I'm sure of it. We never
think
used to
I-
have plastic ones.
This
we
isn't
had, like,
making
a salmon-y
great
one.
radio, you know.
No, it's not, is it?
Us talking about our toilets.
The toilet seats in our youth.
Yeah, the same
Either way,
thing.
they'll turn blue. Keep an eye on your toilet seat.
Yeah, in the 70s or 80s, you had the blue, the green, or the peach.
You did.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was it, wasn't
Peach,
Because
yeah,
everyone moved
class-
away from the white, and then they were like, oh, these are really dirty, and that's why we've all gone back to white.
Oh, right. So it's like the doctor's coat effect then. Right, okay, next one.
Yeah.
This is for you, Mike, right? Why do cats purr? No one knows. Got the theories, no one's really sure. Cat owners will testify the sheer pleasure of having your favourite moggy pal curled up on your lap and purring away contentedly. But although we may see it as the equivalent of a contented grin or a dog's wagging tail, there is an air of mystery behind these feline sounds. The actual source of the purr was an enigma for a long time. It was fairly recently that experts suggested an alternate constriction and relaxation of the muscles around a cat's larynx is what makes the noise itself. That's when the cat breathes in and out, you get the purr.
Hardly an enigma. If you put your head near a cat's head, it's coming from its head.
Well, they didn't know how the noise was actually made.
Well, it's something to do with its breathing.
Well, yes.
It's quite narrowing it down, isn't it?
Well, it's probably do with like the tongue in the back of the throat kind of thing, like how a person
They're
would
saying
do
it's
it.
the muscles.
It's the muscles around the larynx, they reckon now. But it's the why rather than the what, which still has people scratching their heads. One of the more surprising explanations is that cats don't just purr when they are happy and relaxed. They also purr when they're in pain. Kittens and their mother also purr to provide reassurance and bonding. However, a US-based veterinarian has suggested the frequency of a purr is beneficial to helping bones grow and develop too. They are a similar frequency to those used in modern therapy to heal damaged bones and other tissues, so help to self-soothe and heal when a cat is ill or injured. It's very much a theory, meaning the reason our cats keep on purring remains a little bit baffling.
So if you've got a cat, you've got a broken leg, you stick the cat by your broken leg and get it to purr, well that, heal our bones better as well, because of the frequency.
Maybe it's the wrong frequency.
Maybe you need to attune on a frequency with the cat first.
Maybe.
You and the cat need to go on a spiritual journey into the astral plane, attune mentally, and then break your leg and get the cat to purr and heal you.
That's a hell of a
It's a hell of a lot of work. Until you and the cat are one.
But they do seem to do it when they're happy, when they're like content, when they're like comfortable, don't they?
Yeah, but they do it in other things too. Apparently, it's
You'll find that they're just that relaxed that they're
Everything
it's
relaxes.
to relax, and then it just makes that sound as it goes past.
maybe it's like a de-stressing thing for them. If they do it when they're in pain, and well, they do it when they're happy. It's like, well, I'm happy, I'm going to do this noise because it makes me feel great. If you're in pain, it's going to make you feel better.
Happy place.
Maybe they just want it to be different than a dog.
Maybe they're just arseholes. Cats are arseholes, aren't they? I mean, I love them. I wouldn't hurt a cat, but they're still arseholes.
Yeah, they're all dicks. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They all think they're better than you.
Oh God, yeah. Ever since the Egyptians treated them as gods, that's been it.
Yeah, definitely put a spoon up their arse, didn't it?
Here's a big one. What happens when we die?
That's the age-old question, isn't it? You know.
That's it, but we still can't prove it. I thought it was a biggie, and I thought we could have a little debate. As in, I don't think really anything happens. I'd love there to be the whole,
Our soul lives on.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? It'd be wonderful.
You don't think reincarnation, you just pop into a new soul, whether it be a butterfly, a worm, a new baby, you don't think that...
I'd like to be a tree.
Okay.
Said that in a very full... I want to be a tree.
Yep, a tree.
A grand old oak tree.
No. A banana. No, a pineapple. No, is it? Which one walks?
Bananas.
Banana tree.
Triffids.
No, I'll be a banana
You
tree.
could be a triffid, that'd be pretty sweet.
I'll be a banana tree because I can move around
Yep.
about 5 foot a year or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They do move a fair whack though for a fucking plant.
Everyone on the planet would like a better idea what happens to them after they die. Apparently there's billions of people who already know the answer to that question, because they're dead.
Yeah. They can't tell us.
They can't tell us about it. The subject of the afterlife, or lack thereof, is one of the oldest questions troubling humankind. Will we all float off into eternal bliss? Will the evil among us be damned to the pits of hell? Will our consciousness merely vanish once our bodies have expired? Or will we be reincarnated as hungry hippos or fluffy cats? And scientists do understand the beginning stages of death. They know how the human body begins shutting down. Like store employees turning off the lights at a mega store after closing hours, your body cells begin to blink off one by one until your heart and brain cease activity. What happens after your brain clicks off, though, is still a complete mystery. Although many people who've gone through near-death experiences and then come back to life speak about tunnels of light, or flashbacks to life occurrences, or conversations with loved ones who've passed away. All of those experiences could have biological origins, perhaps spurred by lack of oxygen or wild biochemical fluctuations. Or it's what we're programmed to think.
Lack of oxygen, I'm going with.
Probably a lack of oxygen to the brain. But it's also...
Long white tunnel.
It's like what we're all programmed to think is what's going to happen, isn't it? The blinding light, or the tunnel, or a loved one coming back to speak to you. Could be your brain's last act of flooding your body with dopamine as well as you die.
Yeah.
To make it less painful. It's like, right, dump everything we've got.
Yeah.
This ship's going down.
Doesn't it?
The brain has a little captain's hat on and he's like, has a salute. And he goes down with the ship. Kind of like, release the dopamine, send them that pleasant fantasy about their nan coming back to speak to them. Then give them the tunnel. Give them everything.
Give them the tunnel.
Give them the tunnel.
I was reading the other day, this lady was saying that a little, 4-year-old had said, "Oh, Mummy, you had 2 babies before, you lost 2 babies before me, and I'm those 2 babies." So it was the same, I think this kid was making out it was the same soul, because she'd had 2 miscarriages. He was waiting, but this time he decided to come, he said, and the mum was just left sort of mouth open, speechless.
But at the same time, he could have overheard that.
No, she hasn't. Hasn't spoke about it since.
You don't know if the nans, Mummy, I was pregnant twice before you.
Not at 4, you ain't going to comprehend that kind of
I
shit.
don't know.
No.
Kids are remarkably perception.
But we've both had
Perceptive.
4-year-olds.
Perceptive.
They're not. I don't know. They wouldn't pick up something quite
But they
like
also
that. I don't
live in a
think.
fucking fantasy world at that age, don't they?
What this lady was saying, she was just gobsmacked. It had just come out of nowhere. He'd said it out of nowhere. So
But that doesn't prove that we get reincarnated. That's just a 4-year-old with an overactive imagination.
Well, I'm going to have to look into it. Maybe that'll be your next pick. Reincarnation.
It's definitely one. I mean, then you get the whole karma thing, and you edging on the scale of reincarnation. If that's what happens, we don't know.
If it does happen, I definitely think I was Hitler or someone like that. Because I have fucking bad luck, I do. I must have been a right bastard in a past life.
Hitler's probably like a fucking dung beetle somewhere right now.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
If that's
If that is the way
if that's
it goes,
the way it goes, then yeah,
he's
I
got
want
to
dung
work his
beetle.
way back up to being.
If there's
human.
no, I think you just have to stay as the lowest form of. He should be an amoeba. Even as a dung beetle, he gets them behind him.
Do you know what
You don't want to risk it. Just give him the amoebas.
Do you know what I would like to think? If that was how it was, I'd thought about this before. And I think if that was the case, say you were a dick, or you start off as fresh, you're a new soul, yeah? You start off as a bug, yeah? And if you're a good bug, you work your way up.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
That's true. That's very true.
Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
10 points.
Only good bug's dead bug.
But no, I think, and then that bug does its job, yeah? It goes and feeds its queen, it does what it's meant to do.
Does it die defending its queen?
Maybe, who knows?
Whatever.
But it does its job, and then Mother Nature's happy.
It's a good bug.
Mother Nature's happy. Then that bug. Well, how else would you explain?
It's the Hall of Wisdom on the astral plane and the Council of Light or whatever the fuck they
And
are.
obviously, if you've got this reincarnation, and there is some kind of
If there's some kind of galactic karma where something
yeah,
goes,
yeah.
he was alright, he
Whatever
was
that
good, he was a good
karma-
bug.
Mother Nature
Knock him up a
can't have
notch.
that.
He's a cat now.
Exactly, and then the next time you come up as a mouse, and then a cat, and a horse, or you know what I mean. Each time you'd be a bigger, better, longer living animal. And
Until you
then,
get to human.
no, I'd like to think the next stage before us is a tree or something like that. Something that's really old and wise, or perhaps even after us.
When you go
We're a
after
tree
us, 'cause
next.
you gotta learn you gotta learn your shit, and then you can be
I
to a
don't know.
wise end.
But that's what. If that was how it happened, I'd like to think that you get your chances, and if you do good, you go on to the next level thing, kind of thing. And if you're a dick like your Hitlers, it's like back to square one. Boom.
Amoeba.
Yeah.
I think you need to make a Nintendo game out of this.
Could be good, couldn't it? Yeah.
But then again,
Mother
I mean, what
Nature's
if
wrath.
you get the heaven and hell and stuff like that? What if that's the other
I
prevailing
think
one, isn't
good
it?
and evil is a human construction, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a lottery.
Good and evil depends on where you stand at the time, doesn't it? Let's face it.
But I think there are other animals, other creatures within the world that do have...
An evil giraffe?
Mate, I've got 2 rabbits, right? One of them, she's awesome, she's lovely, she's sweet. We've never mistreated these 2 rabbits. The other one, she is a dick. She is an asshole. She'll eat and chew anything possible. She doesn't let you stroke her, she doesn't let you love her, she attacks you if you come near her.
She's going to be a donkey.
Is she that rabbit from Monty Python?
I think so.
What's the evil rabbit's name?
I can't think.
Oh, come on, you know what the evil rabbit's name is. You know the name
Oh,
of your
my rabbit. Oh,
The evil rabbit?
Yeah, Biscuit.
Biscuit. The evil rabbit's called Biscuit.
Sorry, Cookie. Biscuit's the nice one.
Biscuit's the nice one.
But honestly, that tells me that, look, she is a dick. And if you look on... Type in Google...
You get dicks in every species,
my
don't
rabbit...
you?
Exact. That's my point. So, you're saying, like, that's a human trait. I don't think it is. I think it's an every animal trait.
I don't know.
You can get dickheads, because how would you explain your little fucking... I
Look at every cat.
Yeah! There you go. Prime example. But I just thought, because you've got the 2
I
of
believe they've got different personalities,
Yeah.
but I don't believe that there's a good one and an evil one.
Yeah, no, trust me.
Maybe Pete's rabbit's the representation of yin and yang.
Cookie is a dick.
Is Cookie black and Biscuit
No,
white?
No.
No. Other way round? No.
If you check to see that it's not set to evil, a mistake.
Have a look when I
Here's
go
your problem, this rabbit was set to evil.
How do I correct it? What do I stick up its butt? Nah, but they're lovely. They are lovely animals, but honestly, she's a knob.
Back to what happens after we die.
But yeah.
Until someone comes back and tells us, in Jedi Force Ghost sort of style, it's not going to happen, is it? We won't know. We'll never find out. The fact that no one has come back in Jedi Force Ghost style and had a proper good chat to everybody on telly or something.
If it's not on Oprah, I don't believe it.
There's nothing on Jerry Springer. I'm going for it. We've got the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi and some skeptics.
Like this woman that's married that pirate ghost.
Yeah. Maybe not her. Let's not get her on.
No, I was going to say, he's like, show me the evidence, woman.
Yeah, it's until literally a ghost is physically visible and stood there and communicating as I'm speaking to you guys now.
Well, in the reincarnation theory, there'd be no ghost, would there?
That's a valid point, isn't it?
Because you go back into the lottery and get spewed out as a dung beetle or whatever.
Maybe it's people that refused to be reincarnated, and so they're...
Or is it like a purgatory in between, waiting to go onto your new shell?
Nah, because you got ghosts. All ghosts are like old, aren't they?
No.
Is it just there's like you were too shit to be reincarnated, so we're just going to leave you here replaying your final moments.
They could have been a dick. Maybe that's what happens to our souls.
But then again, it's just all ghosts. Why there's no Hitler's ghost in that scenario?
He committed suicide. Different. Maybe. Who knows?
I have no idea. No. The point is, and like I say, until we get the Force Ghost who comes back and speaks clearly and has a proper conversation, you're not going to know.
Here's one on that though. Like say Hitler's ghost, maybe the force of karma was like, you're too much of a dick.
Destroyed his
You're
soul.
not coming, yeah, you ain't coming back.
Straight out, destroyed his soul.
Maybe he was Genghis Khan in his previous life.
We gave you another chance, look what you did.
Yeah. You worked your way up from a fucking amoeba
To Genghis Khan, they gave you one more chance and you came bloody Hitler. Your last bloody chance.
and he's from up north. Or she.
Genghis Khan, by the way.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, there we have it. I don't know. No one knows. No one's ever going to find out. What about Are We Alone in the Universe? I had to throw it in.
No.
No.
We're not. There's no fucking way. How can we be that small-minded to think we are the only planet with this kind of...
Yep.
It's just too small-minded to think
It is, but still, at the moment, we don't know.
Look, 'cause we haven't proved it yet,
That's
have we?
it.
There's been
But we
no
don't know.
physical evidence as such.
Could
that,
be-
that we know about.
There could be as many as 40 billion habitable planets just in our galaxy, and that is an awful lot of potential for alien life.
Statistically, it has to be, doesn't it?
Then of course the Drake equation.
Intelligent life forms in a different manner.
That's the thing. You can say, yeah, that planet's got life. We're looking for intelligent life, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're looking for any life.
Equivalent of...
Well, yes, I know, we are looking for any life, but intelligent life would be nice.
Wow.
Well, would it, though?
We've been through this.
We've been through it, I know.
33% chance that they're going to kill us.
I just think it's higher than that.
It's 33% chance that
Especially if they're trying to take over their home, because
they're
ours is
benevolent.
like...
There's 33% chance that they're malevolent, and there's 33% chance they're indifferent to us. People forget that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to realise that every time we've come across somebody that's been inferior technologically to us, we've just wiped them out because we can.
Yeah, because that's where we were in
I know
our journey, but aliens might be further on than that.
Yeah, they may not be.
It might not be.
They might be a warlike species, like Klingons.
Or the Borg.
Or the Borg, you never know. I think a 33% chance, I think splitting that into 3, I think it's still too low. I think it's more like 50-50.
Mocklans as well, don't forget the Mocklans.
And the Mocklans.
They like war.
Are they from Doctor Who?
No, Orville.
Oh, of course, the all-male species.
Yeah.
But
Fantastic series.
Good series.
Really good. I really like it, I really rate it. You'd be so fucking stupid to think that there's nothing else but us.
I know.
We're the only life forms in this entire bullshit. No, not a chance.
Now, Claire?
Well, we touched on it in last week's as well, didn't we? I think we're definitely not alone. It's a slow disclosure.
I think within our lifetimes...
Do you think? I was actually questioning that in my head. In our lifetimes, are we ever going to...
Because James Webb
I
can
think
detect
so.
planets, and it can detect the makeup of the atmosphere. If it finds certain things that are only present because of life,
Oxygen, carbon
etc.
dioxide.
Satellites,
So
you know,
carbon
things
dioxide is
like that.
natural. Oxygen isn't.
All we need to do is find
Well, it is,
planets.
but not in massive amounts.
Would it be able to pick out if there was satellites in orbit? Or space stations or something like that?
Never know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Because surely
it'll block some of the light.
they'd cast a silhouette on the planet, wouldn't they?
It's possible.
Or the satellites might show up as twinkling lights if there is enough of them in an orbit, in a line.
And over a few photos, you notice they've moved.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be one shot, would it? It'd be, it's taking snapshots into the future or the past, really, isn't it? Past, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be past by the time the
light
gets
reached us. Yeah.
the telescope, isn't it?
Have you got any more?
Where does consciousness come from? I thought that was quite interesting because consciousness is complicated.
I think it's the middle bit of your brain, as like the very middle. The outside is like a few thoughts and pain receptors and whatnot, and then the middle bit that's connected to your optic nerves and that lot. That's what I think.
Now have a look at that picture there. Can you see that on the screen? That's a brain scan, and it's showing how active our brains really are. It's flickering with constant activity as our 100 billion nerve cells ceaselessly fire. Imagine that. That's what your brain's doing right now. It's probably slowed down a little bit.
If you look at the brain through a microscope and you see all the neuron connections and everything, it looks just like the galaxies and the cosmic web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
We're all stardust, baby.
So is the universe conscious and we're just a part of that
A
consciousness?
tiny little speck of that consciousness.
The universe realising itself through us? We're an extension of that consciousness.
Maybe that's the
That's
same.
what I believe.
And maybe that's the same with every life form out there.
Yeah.
We've got a little tiny speck of the universe's consciousness and we give them that spark, maybe.
That's deep.
That is deep. I like it. I mean, we're all very different. I mean, consciousness and personality as well is shaped by events that happen to us in our life.
That's not consciousness, that's personality.
It's true, I suppose. Our minds teem with inner conversations and questions about who we are and our purpose in the world. We are, as far as we know, the only creatures with this sort of active consciousness, and we also have no idea where this consciousness comes from. Our brains, of course, are the central computers of our bodies, controlling biological functions and helping us think our way through all of life's loops and hurdles. Brain scans display how incredibly active our brains really are. Flickering with constant activity as our 100 billion nerve cells ceaselessly fire like a compact yet enormously complex digital network. But the brain is not the mind. Electrical activity doesn't explain how a physical substance can create a non-physical condition like consciousness. Some religions would explain consciousness as a gift from God embedded into our bodies to guide us through this world. But scientists veer towards biological origins. They see consciousness as a collection of biological processes that build towards more complicated thinking that eventually culminates in self-awareness. And if scientists have determined that animals such as dogs almost certainly have a consciousness, but obviously that's a lot lower or a different level of awareness than we have. A dog doesn't recognise itself in the mirror.
No.
Does it? It doesn't go, oh, that's just me.
Yeah.
We do. Unless, of course, you're Mike, who fights the guy in his mirror every day.
I was losing some. I don't understand.
You just won't believe it's him.
Kicks my ass every day.
I'll get him. You'll get him one day, Mike.
No.
You'll get him. But no, it is mad. Consciousness is crazy. I mean, your brain's always going. Even when you're talking to someone, you've always got something floating around your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
P, what do you think?
Well, my mind's empty.
He's like,
it's consciousness.
is it illegal to lick a cat's asshole? Well, I haven't been arrested yet.
Thanks for that contribution, P.
Yeah, that was really good time spent wisely there.
Nah, it is mad.
Alright then, Mike. Fucked up facts.
Yep, team tune, please.
Facts. Fucked up facts. Facts.
Does anyone know how fast a fart travels?
Oh, I know it's quite fast actually. It's about 140 miles an hour or something.
90 miles an hour.
It's per minute, I've got this.
Oh, per minute.
How far can it go in a minute?
4 metres a minute. I don't
Going
know.
4 metres. I want it in imperial measurements if you
What
could.
sold on it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How fast the air comes out your butt?
No, how far it travels in 1 minute.
How far it travels in a minute?
Yeah.
Depends on wind speed and what remote.
That's it, that's true, there's variables.
Average then.
19 metres per minute, I'm going to say.
Imperial
Imperial measurements. I'm going to go
What's that then?
6 foot. 6 foot radius.
Alright.
I'm going like 3 feet per
Minute.
minute.
So I'd be saying about 57 feet per minute.
Claire's the closest. 8 inches per minute.
Oh.
Alright, depends who's farting though.
It does depend who's
That doesn't
farting.
seem a lot enough, does it?
It doesn't.
8 inches.
So
per
you
minute.
fart and it just
Disperses it.
versus 8 inches.
No, it's going to be 8 inches per meter. 8 inches
So it says-
per second.
Per minute, it says. A fart
inches a
travels
minute.
about 8 inches per minute.
So you fart,
That's hardly even
then you
worth.
smell it.
It's not even
And
meeting
you don't
you, Pete, and we're
smell
sat
it.
next to
That's
each other. pretty
bullshit.
much.
That's bullshit. Because you could fart now. Within about 3 or 4 seconds, I'd be catching waft of it.
Yeah.
So that's full of shit. That
Yeah, but
fart.
you're sat maybe 3 foot away from Mike, which is that's
So-
36 inches, so 8 inches a minute.
He's going to get it within 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'd get it within seconds.
Yeah.
That's my
Nah.
point. When
Yeah.
Stella farts,
Yeah,
within
but she's got-
seconds,
you can hear her butt and she's right
Don't
by
matter.
you.
she could be sat by you when you're on your side of your chair, when I'm sat on the other side of your chair, which is about 1.5 meters at least away from her arse.
Yeah, I've got the window open as well. It's just wafting right by you.
Either way, that gets there within a couple of seconds.
Please, you haven't fucking lived with a Rottweiler, have you?
No.
There you go. You think your little French bulldog can fucking fart?
I don't know. Stella's farts
No,
are
sorry.
fucking evil. Make your eyes water, mate. They really do. For a tiny little dog, they are vicious.
Sorry, I can top trump that.
It all depends what
Rottweiler
they eat.
fart.
Chop trump that.
Right, Mike, next
Go on
one then.
In Indonesia, you can pay for your bus fare with trash. If you bring your recyclables, you can ride the bus for free.
That's pretty cool.
That's a good idea.
That's a great way to get people recycling as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bus carries all this like recycling around, so you know.
Let's drop it off at.
How would you?
Just being on this route.
Must be just a bin that gets.
Is it measured or something? Do you have to have like a certain weight?
I don't know. That's all it tells me.
Right, you can get this far for 3 cans. Are they aluminium?
Here's a plastic bottle. How much does that get me off?
10 metres.
Yeah, well.
This is quite a horrifying fact. More than half of pilots have fallen asleep while flying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've normally got autopilot on, haven't they?
Yeah,
So-
it's pretty much it.
But then their oppo-pilot would probably be awake anyway.
No, mate, I've heard tales of where the pilot's sort of snapped awake and go, oh, fuck. And then he's turned, is in the co-pilot flat out and the fucking a third pilot flat out as well. And they're all supposed to be on. Let's say that you're a pilot and you're just doing a commercial jaunt.
7-8 hour journey.
Birmingham to Spain, like somewhere, 4-hour jaunt. You fly there, turn the plane around, get everyone back on, refuel, reloaded, boom, back straight again. You might do that 3 times in a night. Stay the night in Spain, fly back in the morning. You might do a 12-hour. 14.
Yeah.
Lorry drivers go 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day.
They haven't got autopilot.
They have
Or co-pilots to fly for an hour or...
the autopilot's there. Just go, okay, I'm on this heading at this speed, and that's it. That's what it does. Keeps everything level. You run into turbulence or something like a storm, you got an issue then.
Well, you'd have a little bit of a thing with your co-pilot. I'll sleep for this one. You can sleep for the next one.
That's what's actually meant to happen. In fact, there is actually, you'll never see it on a plane, but there is a bedroom on the bigger Boeings.
I have seen it. When I was a kid and used to go to Saudi a lot before the days of danger on planes, they used to take you up into the cockpit.
I've been in the cockpit as a kid, yeah. Cock.
Cockpit.
Yeah, I got shown around it a couple of times. About 8 years old.
When you couldn't go in there when they were flying it.
Yeah. That was
Forgot all
ace.
about that.
No,
Yeah.
I always remember the pilot. To meet the pilot was really special though, and you'd meet him, and they'd always have like a stash of, like your treat bags.
Yeah.
They'd always have a stash of treat bags, and if you were one of the lucky ones to get taken up to him, you'd come back with a treat bag. I had once. I've got a Saudi aeroplane about that big.
It was always a little model plane.
Yeah,
is what it was.
I got a Saudi jumbo jet about that big, and that's from walking into the cockpit. And I remember seeing the same stewardess about a year later, and she remembered me and took me up to see him again.
Ah,
Different pilot, but got another goodie bag.
I'm waiting for the day that I'm on a plane and the pilot goes, "I'm Bruce Dickinson." Like, I'm
well
Aiden.
ace. That would be well ace, wouldn't it?
He's waiting for it. I don't know who he flies for though when he's not touring.
Pan America or something, probably.
I've no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Welcome to Route 666. We're
Yeah!
going straight to hell.
Yeah. And then he just plows it into a field. You're like, oh well.
In 2019, a Japanese student of the history of ninjas received top marks for writing an essay in invisible ink.
Ha!
Ooh.
There's always one in that
There
show
is.
off.
So how did they get top marks?
Because he's so much of a ninja, he just goes, yeah, I wrote it in invisible ink. Now it's up to you.
I guess that
I guess he gave him how to see the invisible ink.
Yeah.
So you hold a candle behind it or something, you know?
Maybe he did it to make sure no one cheated, like and stole his work, kind of thing.
Or maybe he's a smug fucker that just handed in a few blank sheets of paper and went, ha, wrote it in invisible ink.
it's a badass thing to do, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stick it under a
Obviously, he's dressed like a ninja as well because he's the top ninja student. So he's in the whole, you just see his eyes, he's got a couple of swords strapped to him and some other ninja accoutrement. And he's like, I wrote it in invisible ink.
Don't you
Just
just
click
use
some
lemon
points.
juice for that? Lemon juice is invisible ink, isn't it? Basically, you start, like if you put like a lamp, the heat from the bulb would slightly heat the
Yeah,
lemon
there's
juice. Basically, it goes off slightly brown.
or jizz.
Jizz. Blue lamp, black lamp,
Black light.
Yeah. I wrote this in jizz, my whole essay. Fucking hell! You were a busy boy last night. It's not just
I'm
my
not marking
jizz.
that. I'm not marking that.
Dripping. Oh shit! I'm so gonna collect some jizz and write some invisible ink. letters to someone, I don't know.
Love letters.
Yeah.
I think the police will definitely get your DNA on file though at that point.
Send them to Jennifer Aniston. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Early 1800s false teeth were often made from hippopotamus teeth.
Hippo teeth? Imagine waking up when they've put your fucking false tooth in, you got one of those big tusks sticking out of your face. What the fuck?
Here comes Johnny Tuskface.
I was imagining like a bit of a tussle down the bar, and it's like, you hippo face bitch.
Yeah, they'd be massive, wouldn't you?
Sorry.
Way too big.
Are they not huge?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Unless they carve them out of them.
Maybe the Zippo's got like lots of little teeth that can be used. Until of course 1815 and of course the Peninsular War, when it was cheaper to just take the corpses' teeth out on the battlefield and sell them in London and Paris for to be made into sets of dentures.
So what? Obviously, looking at hippo's teeth, it's not hippo's teeth. They don't literally pull out their tooth and go, right, let's stick that in.
Chip them up a bit.
They're obviously shaped and
Yeah.
they're cut and but it must. It's like using ivory, isn't it? Basically, same
Guess so.
kind of principle.
Until
Just imagine getting them in your gob.
Look at the fucking predator.
Next. My brother's nickname's Hippo Head. Yeah. Got a big thick neck and tiny little ears like me, but looks like a hippo.
Okay, we're finishing this one. In the early 1990s, a group of New York performance artists swapped the voice boxes of about 300 G.I. Joe and Barbie dolls and put them back in stores.
I heard about that.
A G.I. Joe would say, "Will we ever have enough clothes?" And a Barbie would say, "Vengeance is mine," and "Eat lead, Cobra."
Vengeance is mine. Eat lead, Cobra. Oh man, that'd be ace. Well, it wouldn't if you got a G.I. Joe and you're like, yeah! And he goes, will we ever have enough clothes? You
No,
know,
he spoke with her voice.
With her voice,
will we ever have enough clothes? You're like, oh no.
So literally just thought that.
Actually, the answer to that for both lines of that would be no, there won't be ever going to be enough clothes, because even G.I. Joe's had the Arctic suit you could buy him and the different types of camouflage and all that.
Remember Action Man?
Yeah.
My mum used to make clothes for Action Man. I had a shoebox full of clothes that my mum had made out of like old random clothes of ours.
Flares.
Well, the thing is though, you got three little lads, in the early 80s. Money was quite tight, but we wanted stuff. You'd go to your shops, and the first thing you'd do as a kid when you go to the shop is, can we go look at the toy section?
Yeah.
And that's what you did as a kid in the 80s and probably the early 90s. You went and looked at the toy section.
Leave me in the toy section, I'll stay here.
Yeah, Mum and Dad would go and do the shopping.
Then I'd play on the usual, whatever the demo console they had going.
Yeah.
There'd always be something, wouldn't
Yeah,
there?
I remember playing it in Dixon's or Curry's, one of the early electronic shops, late 80s, early 90s. They'd always have Duck
Playing like
Hunt on the
Game
original
Boy
on the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll stay here in the toy section and just play on that until they came back.
But I've completely forgotten my point now. What were we talking about?
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt?
No!
Making little clothes.
Yes.
Little action
yeah,
man
obviously-
clothes.
Action Man
So
clothes of the 70s style.
you'd go to the toy section and you'd be looking at all the stuff like, Mum, Dad, can I have this? And they'd look at it and be like, bloody hell, that's $6.99 or whatever. In them days was a lot of money.
Did
So
you knit them?
she'd just go home and she had a little sewing machine. She'd cut up all our old clothes and make all proper. But they were really good.
So why is Action Man wearing a three-piece suit that's floral? Just got some new curtains, son. He's got a little waistcoat and jacket.
All your Star Wars figures as well. And my mum made like camo cloaks for all the Star Wars figures. So when they were having the battle in
Endor.
they all, so she made all them out of.
That they should never have won.
Yeah, but she made them out of an old pair of my dad's camo trousers from when he was in the forces. Things like that. And obviously that made lots of Action Man suits with that. He had about 3 or 4 different camo
Oh god,
sets.
you've been giving camo sets a couple of times a year? Easy?
Yeah. But it's the way to do it, wasn't it? It was the way to do it.
That's what it was, make do and mend back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Those times have changed.
I wish I still had my old Action Man. It'd be worth a fucking fortune now. He had the moving eyes and everything, the little button at the back of the head. He'd move
hell.
it left and right, and his eyes would go left and right. Proper little hair on it. Oh, mate, worth a fortune now if you still have one.
Yeah,
I mean, thousands.
Star Wars figures, and you know, you shouldn't have taken them out of the box either.
I know.
Then what's the point of playing with them if you're not taking them out of the box?
Even playing.
Can't tell a child not to take something out of the box.
No.
Some of those Star Wars figures are still worth a lot of money now, even played with.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
And the action men, yeah. Mad, innit?
Crazy.
If only there was the foresight to save these things.
Should have used the Force.
Mate, as many of a toy that my kids have had now that they're getting thrown, they'll be kept. Because maybe 30, 40 years' time, they're worth a fortune.
Maybe.
You never
Until
know.
everything's just mass produced now, though, isn't
I
it?
think it's more mass produced now.
I suppose, yeah. I don't know, those Star Wars figures back in the 80s, they were pretty much mass produced.
They were, but like you say, because it was so popular, everyone had them, and then everyone binned them when they got rid of it. You know, no one thought about keeping stuff in the 80s. You grew out of it, it got passed on and passed on and passed on until it was eventually binned.
Yeah, because C-3PO is missing his leg or his head or something
Well,
like
that's
that.
it, yeah, that's the other thing. I used to have the metal Transformers. Generation
Yeah, they
1
were
Transformers were
ace,
made out of metal. Fuck me, I wish I'd kept them. They're worth a fortune now.
Yeah, things are just made better, aren't they?
Yeah.
But everything was metal, it was very little plastic.
Micro machines used to be metal as
Yeah,
well. Now
They
they're
were
plastic.
ace. I've still got quite a few micro machines.
Have you?
Yeah, proper ones as well.
Proper ones.
Proper job. Anyway, I think that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. I've been Ben, don't drink the Flavour Aid, and don't join a cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Take it easy, man.
Take it easy.
Take it
Slow ride.
easy. We'll go with the Eagles then.
We'll go for different songs.
Yeah.
Gotta get folk out every time.